welcome back to the Fresh Life Podcast.
So we are finally back as a unit, a crew.
Yes.
We're officially, as you have said, a party of five.
Party of five.
We have our special guest here. You can actually, for those of you who are watching, we have Major here. He is the newest crew member. And it's just really awesome, of course, to have a 2-month-old baby. He makes a ton of gerbil noises, so we're kind of working that out right now. But
he definitely makes the gerbil noises, and so if you hear some heavy breathing, it is probably him who hopefully he'll fall asleep soon.
Yeah, we shall see. But I'm just happy, of course, for those listening. We've had a few episodes recently, and I promised you that Jazmine would be back. Listen, I kept my promise. She's here. For those of you who have missed her and you've been wondering every time you listen, where is the other half of the episodes? It's like, I know that Chris, is vibing with us, but man, he is all teaching and no fun. So I'm just very happy, of course, to be sitting next to my wife.
Thank you.
And welcoming her back, of course, to the Fresh Life Podcast.
Thank you. It is so good to be back. It has been a journey. Postpartum is no joke. I'm excited to share our birth story. I'm excited to share, some of the things that we had to go through together in order to birth little baby Major. And so, yeah, that's what this episode is pretty much about, just sharing our life story, which I think is pretty cool for our listeners.
Yeah.
It's really amazing that even like after you have so many children, we had 2 before, it's still like this unknown of giving birth, right? Or just like this big experience of preparing for it and anticipating and thinking about how different. Mm-hmm. So this time it was different just in the simple fact we were going through a pandemic. So we actually had a COVID baby, a quarantina.
He doesn't have COVID.
No, he does not have COVID.
Born during COVID.
Yes.
For those of you who are going to listen to this in the future.
Right. But that was a joke before. Remember, like when we first started quarantining, everybody's like, "Is all these babies going to be born in November, December?" Yeah. Well, this is one of them.
Yeah, and it's really cool because he's born in the most unique period of all of our lives. Mm-hmm. Like none of us have seen this modern era, where you have to wear a mask everywhere you go, and people are suspicious of, each other. Are you sick? Am I not sick? We got government issues. We're on lockdown. You're not on lockdown. Like you got 30 rolls of toilet paper in the basement. Like it's a lot going on.
Yeah.
And in the midst of that chaos, something beautiful was still birthed.
Yes.
Because God has an amazing way of birthing something beautiful out of chaos. And so here is Major, of course, on camera. Again, he's 2 months. And so we're actually going to go ahead and talk about, the actual, the process that Jazmine went through. Of course, that was very unique to her this time around. And I think that what many women can actually identify with, and she's going to share some of that. So did you want to go ahead and kind of start?
Yeah, absolutely. So just taking it back to the fact that we are in COVID, that meant that I could only have one person in the room with me. So of course it was my husband. I'm not used to that. I normally have my mom, my sister, my grandmother, just my tribe of women, that know exactly what I'm going through or have been there before. So that was different. But Chris, you were amazing. But leading up to that, even in my pregnancy,
was there ever any other option other than me though?
No, I didn't even present it because I knew it wasn't an option.
Was it a close second?
There was a time that I wanted to ask you, would you mind?
Wow.
But it never crossed my lips. Because, my mom, not only is she just a woman who's been through this, she my, prayer warrior. Like, she be in there, casting things down. So I had just, wanted some of that extra anointing.
Well, listen.
Not that you are not anointed as the king of this home.
I'm really happy.
I'm just saying, women, we have a warring spirit. Yeah. We have a little something different in us.
In the end, you had to push it out. Okay.
In the end, but I'm just saying,
that's just the truth of the matter.
I wanted that extra.
And listen, it wasn't her memory to have. She didn't do no work for the baby.
Okay, so anyway.
I put my sweat and tears into this baby.
Well, did you? So,
What?
one visitor,
what just happened?
one person, and you were definitely my
That
person.
was inappropriate.
And it was so inappropriate, but that's okay. You were definitely my person, and I'm so grateful. I would not have had it any other way. We did this doggone thing. Okay, so what I wanted to say though first is we was really trying to get baby Major out. It was some intentional activities.
So tell about that.
Well, we were reading about natural ways to induce labor, and it was hold on.
So I think one of the ways that we definitely did was eating spicy food.
Yes.
We actually found a great
it's so
love
good.
affair with Indian food. We went to Mexico, and I don't know if it started before then. though.
It did. But they had in the resort. They had a really amazing Indian restaurant that we just like wanted to eat at every night.
And so spicy food, of course, is known to induce labor.
Yes. Other things are known to induce labor too. But the thing is, they say that semen loosens up your cervix and induces labor. So we had some intentional relations, and it put me into, and like 3 days prior to that, it put me, intentional relations. It put me into false labor. Remember, I was up and I had labor pains, and then they just stopped. Like I had labor pains for like 2 hours. Like I was like, oh, I'm in labor, and then stopped. So then about 3 days later, we tried intentional relations again. Now let's just talk about intentional relations for a second. This is my first time having intentional relations like that, where it wasn't like out of love making, like out of a desire, like it was purposeful.
It was for me.
Wait, no, babe, for real. It was
Every responsibility
it was
should be that much fun.
Straight purposeful. It was like, it was very mechanic. I felt like it was like, come here now, I need this to happen. Like it wasn't like, let's set the atmosphere and the mood.
I ain't need no atmosphere. It was a good time all around.
Okay, well that's great.
But I understand because you were on a mission.
I was on a mission to get this baby out.
Yeah,
I was ready.
I wasn't on this mission.
You were not on this mission.
I was a participant to help you get to the goal.
Well, you was really ready for me to have him though.
Yeah, I was.
You was excited about him coming.
I was kind of over the idea of like
I think we both
the pregnancy deal.
Yeah, it was a long 9 months.
Yeah, and Major, we wanted to see you too.
Yeah, we wanted to
don't
meet
get it twisted,
you.
but it was a long 9 months. 9 months is a long time.
9 months is a long time. So anyway, that worked.
It's 75% of the year.
Yeah, it is. That worked, Chris.
Work.
That's intentional relations.
I put in the work.
That sends me right into labor. And you know, when they get there, they actually ask me, have you had intercourse in the last 24 hours? Yes.
Construction work.
Hence why I'm here, lady.
Construction work.
Anyways.
Tearing down the walls.
I really... Opening the walls.
Opening the walls.
Yes, baby.
Construction.
I really appreciate your construction.
I am a foreman.
You are a foreman. Okay. Anyways, so this whole time I did HypnoBirthing. My anxiety was really bad surrounding birth. Do you recall?
Yeah.
Tell me some of those things that you recall when you realized, oh, she's having really bad anxiety about giving birth to this baby.
So, just the idea of an alternative way of giving birth, I think, I had to really wake up to that idea that you could be doing things a little bit different than the other two. And I knew that it was really becoming a real thing that I thought that I didn't know what hypnobirthing was. I thought when I heard the word hypno, I thought about water.
Okay.
Hydro.
I got you.
It was really hydro.
It was the high.
It was high.
I got you.
I thought some way you was gonna be levitating somewhere in water, but it really was in your mind.
Yeah, it was in my mind. So I had to levitate in my mind.
Hypno. Pretty much like hypnotherapy.
Exactly.
Right? You are psyched out of your mind
to do this thing. Yes. Yes.
And so when I heard about the idea, I at first thought it was water. I thought it was gonna be a pool in my living room and everything.
Would you have been okay with that?
I would have been perfectly fine.
You were the best. Chris is the best.
They show these men on the videos now, and they be looking all, they be wet in the pool, giving birth to the baby. The baby slide out like he came in Cancun. In the pool. So I just thought that would be really cool, but
that would have been cool.
Most of all, I was left out.
That's fine. So, any other instances in you seeing me prepare for birth that you knew, okay, her anxiety is bad?
Yeah, so I thought that Jasmine was turning into the Dalai Lama. Um, she was her. I would walk in and people pray. They pray over their food. They pray in the morning.
Come on.
They pray at night. They pray over their kids. I walked in one day and I opened the door and a demon ran out. I said, "Whoa!" He said, he gave me the peace sign. I said, "Oh, okay, so it's going down." It was a sweat in there. It felt like a hot sauna.
And what you do?
I had no choice. God slayed me, threw me to the ground.
He got right in that hot sauna.
Yeah, I was
Got
nervous.
down on his knees in that hot sauna.
I felt if I walked out, she thought I was a demon.
Shoot, I probably would have.
Yeah, I was
Had to
nervous.
rebuke you too.
Seriously, but
No, I'm just joking.
she legit. She was very intentional, very focused about what she needed to do and how she needed to prepare her mind. And whenever I think you're giving birth, especially naturally and in a different way, there's a lot of studies and data that depicts a very dark moment for Black women and women of color who give birth.
Yes.
And just so that's a very real thing to consider. So
yes,
I think
that Black women die at
Yeah.
a higher percentage rate than white women in America during childbirth.
So she gave that a lot of thought.
I did.
What was your thought about it?
You're correct. I had a lot of anxiety surrounding it. I think though it was my natural anxiety rising up in me, and then on top of that, all the uncertainty. So it's COVID. It's I wanted to labor at home as long as possible. I realize now in hindsight that it was actually my fear and my anxiety is the reason why I gave birth naturally. It really wasn't probably something I would have done had I was able to have my mom or my sister present. I don't know what that did for me in my psyche, but it just messed me up. So I was afraid. I've always been afraid of getting an epidural, but I've gotten epidurals for both of my previous pregnancies, and this time around I was just extra afraid, and my anxiety around the epidural was very heightened. I was like, oh my goodness, what if they mess up? I had heard, and recently I had a really bad horror story. Mommy came and she got into mommy mode, but just real chill mommy mode, not that aggravating mommy mode, that right on time, seasoned mama mode. Like, she a seasoned mother out here in these streets. Like, her oldest is 36. How old are you?
Yes.
Her oldest is 36. So she's seasoned. She knows how to come in, come out for the most part. So anyway, so she came in that day
She
triumphant.
killed it.
Yeah. She killed it. And I wanted her. Like, I didn't realize how much I wanted my mother. Like, I needed my mom. That's all I can say. I needed my mom. I needed her touch. I needed her love. I needed her extra care. She just took really good care of me, not only in that moment, but for the weeks to come after that, which was really a great blessing. So anyway, so she put the cold rag on my face. She massaged my feet. She just made sure that for every contraction, she was right there. So so what I learned is I had tried different positions, like on all fours, laying down on my side. I tried different things, but what really worked for me was either sitting, and always wanted somebody. I needed somebody for every single contraction. So I was either sitting or I would stand. And I wanted to wrap my arms around you, and I needed it. It was almost like it was too painful to do by myself. But if I had somebody with me, and it's just amazing the power of touch. Like, I don't ever want to negate the power of touch. I just want to touch you right now because it's a real thing that humans need, and it's for our in our neurology. Like, we need touch. Like, it just is comforting. Sorry, any loud gerbil noises or heavy breathing you hear, that is major. I'm wearing him right now, my Moby wrap. Shout out to Moby. I need to talk to Moby about some things, but
what's amazing about this Moby wrap?
He's so close to me. I can kiss him and he hears my heartbeat, so it really calms him. Yeah, he's like he really goes right to sleep in it. But
you have pockets?
No pockets.
Oh,
This is
okay.
just this is just extra support.
These really close. Like I've seen a lot of these wraps, and they look very confusing to put on.
Yeah, no, Moby is great. I love this brand.
Yeah, even for men, real quick, I'll say even for men, like wearing a thing like this is pretty cool
Yeah.
because it really does allow you when you get left at home with the baby to still have your hands. Like, and I think that's the dopest part about wearing something like a Moby wrap because it allows you to just continue to work and do your thing throughout the house without being constricted to holding this baby with two hands.
Yeah, I agree. Do you like what are these?
Jazz hands?
Jazz hands. I was thinking that they're were
your hands. See what I did there?
I like that, jazz hands. I like that. I was thinking they were miming hands, but they're jazz hands. Yeah.
Jazz
Thank
hands.
you. Yeah. You're really a Renaissance man. Yeah. Babe, you know so much.
Yeah.
What, like this? I'm just so thankful for that brain in there.
I pick up stuff like a Roomba.
Bars.
Wow.
Bars.
See that? Come on, man.
Bars.
I do this.
Okay, sorry, you guys. Where are we at in the story, Chris? Are we still at labor at home? Okay, guys.
Really,
so
where we are is
let's just hurry up the story.
No, we should give them part 2 and let them
clearly
listen because there's a lot that went on at the hospital.
Yes. Okay, so let's just finish up home. Should we finish up home in the drive there? And then we'll leave them in that ellipsis.
Fine, continue.
What is
you're
that?
good.
What is that when you leave them in that ellipsis? What's going to happen next?
So you leave them in suspense. The ellipsis is the 3 dots.
I know, but that's like suspense too, like ... Like
I see where you're going.
A literary suspense.
No, you're right.
All right. Anyways, people, please forgive us. So, mom comes through. She is massaging those feet. She is putting cool rags on thy head. Every time I have a contraction, she is there for me to either wrap my arms around her waist.
Even Caleb
came through. She's covering me up with a blanket in between because I will get cold and get shivery in between contractions. Mom Deuce is just there, okay? This allows Chris the freedom to do the things that's been on his mind. Chris wanted to get that kitchen cleaned. You wanted to shovel that driveway. What else did you do? You had to get the boys together. Caleb was down there. Y'all know Caleb was on the Fortnite. Don't act like y'all don't know us and don't know that our son is a Fortnite master. He was on the Fortnite.
They were just doing their own thing.
JoJo was on the iPad.
Yeah.
You had to get breakfast going. Mind you, it is like 6 o'clock in the morning by this point. Like, it's just too early for y'all to be up anyway. But fine, we had to make it work.
It just didn't make any sense.
What else did you do?
I would next time. I mean, I guess you can't really plan for it.
Yeah, you were grateful that mom was there. You had got your bag together.
I was able to get some coffee.
Got some coffee.
I don't know. I mean, I just think she was. I really do.
You had to pack the boys' bag.
I've grown to understand the love that I have for her because of how much she loves you and that she doesn't, she hasn't put her kids in a position where like they're older now. Like your mom comes, she don't have to be called. She just comes like,
yeah.
And we'll tell stories that even after the baby, like she would just come and bum rush the show. Yeah. And just do stuff that we didn't even ask her to do.
And that we didn't even know we needed, though.
And that was a representation of this during labor, of her doing the same thing. And it's just that I just really love her for that.
Me too.
Because I think that she's a very selfless person. She's one of the most selfless people that I know, and it's very genuine and it's true. So I just think that's really cool.
Shout out to Mom Dukes.
Yeah.
Shout out to Mom.
Yeah.
And one thing I really want to say, just because I don't want to forget in the next episode, is people don't know what they need when they're going through hard things. So it's so easy, and it's a caveat that we all use of just being like, let me know if you need anything, I'm there. But number one, we don't know what we need. And number two, even if I thought I needed something, I'm less likely to probably ask for it because of a plethora of reasons, right? So I think that was just so loving of my mom to show up how she did, because the things that she would do for me, I didn't even know I needed. I didn't know that my feet being massaged would relax me more. I didn't know that I needed a cool rag on my head. I didn't know that after birth I needed meals cooked for me and my house cleaned. Like, When I tell you, when we go into details about, we nicknamed them the Cares Ministry because they just cared so much and they were there for us.
She was like Red Cross.
Yeah, she was just
like she was taking care of a soldier. I looked around and said, somebody get injured in a war?
My body felt like I got hit by a truck though.
Towels on her forehead.
Chris,
massages.
don't hate. Are you hating?
She bringing water, dropping rice. I'm like, what is
dropping rice?
Like, what is happening over here?
She's bringing water.
War-torn city over here.
I can't stand you right now. So, anyways, so the other thing that worked really well for me was the shower. And again, this is another praise break because God is so good. That shower is that water is created by him. It naturally relaxes us. When you go to a beach and look out at the water, it relaxes you, so just being in the shower during a contraction, my body was naturally more at ease. Even if you just get in the tub and just soak, your body is going to be naturally more relaxed. So that shower, and baby, your stool from when you had your Achilles. See, Chris couldn't shower like standing up, so we had got like a water stool, and we still had it from his injury. Honey, I would get on that stool, and I would even shower like that because when I was so big, being pregnant with Major, it was just easier for me to shower because my back would hurt so much. I would sit on that stool. So I labored on that stool in the shower, and it was amazing. It was amazing. The shower was by far the second best thing. Like my mom, Chris, and then the shower. Like I needed them both. And by all three of them. And by the way, Chris was also there during the labor. I don't want y'all to think it was just my mom. He would come in for contractions. I would stand up, wrap my arms around his neck, and we would just sway side to side. Chris was amazing at whispering affirmations in my ear, reminding me who I was, reminding me that I can do this, reminding me that all that pain is getting you closer to your baby. So I was really, really grateful for that. He was taking care of the boys, holding the house down, packing up the bags, things that, because mind you guys, it was December 2nd. He really wasn't due for another week. So we weren't all the way together. My hospital bag was packed, but Chris wasn't packed and the boys wasn't packed to be in my mom's house for 2 nights.
Yeah.
So that is the at-home birthing story. I labored so well at home. I had so much great support.
It's a great idea to do it at home.
We tracked my contractions just using the app. There's so many apps out there. We just downloaded a free app. Kept tracking my contractions, and then when they were getting close, like there was like 2 minutes apart.
How many centimeters would you say a woman needs to really stay at home after you've kind of had 3 kids?
I would just say like it would be nice to do half your labor at home at least. So like at least 5 centimeters by the time you get to the hospital. Like
to you young mothers who are experiencing,
I would say like 5 or 6.
That first labor pain. Don't be running to the hospital.
I know.
They're gonna send you home.
We did that with Kayla.
Yeah, they're gonna send you home, and
that's
even more stressful.
They sent me home and told me to take an Ambien so I could go to sleep.
It's rough.
I was literally dozing off in between contractions.
Oh, this time you was too.
Yeah, I was. I was like I wasn't really dozing off. I was really in like
you were
a high
fatigued.
I was in a high meditative state.
We'll discuss.
We shall discuss.
I want to say again that I thought it was really an awesome experience, of course, to do it at home, to do most of it at home. And, I think you have a lot to share, and I think it's most of it is encouraging, and it gives women a plan, an alternative plan to what most people do.
Yes. You guys, thank you so much for listening to this episode. Chris, can you tell everybody what we have going on at the Fresh Life website?
So, we do have a few things going on, of course. If you visit the Fresh Life store, and soon enough, I promise I'm going to merge them, the Fresh Life store and the FreshLifeBrand.com. There's the FreshLifeStore.com where the apparel is.
Tell them about our inspirational apparel.
And so the apparel is, we have the God plus Therapy hoodie.
Isn't that
which
just
is
us?
Really dope.
Like that's just so us, right?
I'm actually gonna make sure I wear that next episode. Not sure why I didn't have that on today.
Well, I'm wearing Major.
We also have a new hoodie. Says bag on it, and it stands for Big Audacious Goal Getter. It's super soft, great cotton. We're gonna be bringing back the Fresh Life Journal coming up soon.
Yes.
Of course, there's also all the books that we have,
yes.
Available as well.
Yes.
So visit the FreshLifeStore.com and then also the FreshLifeBrand.com. But yeah, I mean, you go there, you're going to get everything that, we've created and designed out of our hearts and our heads.
And speaking of ebooks, right now for the month of February, I am doing a 30-day self-love challenge. Truly, it came out of my anxiety and my need to truly take care of myself. And this book is already a book that we have out. And I said, what a better way than to celebrate the month of love than to take care of ourselves. So please buy the ebook. It has a daily checklist.
What's the name of it?
It's called 30 Days of Greater Self-Love. 30 Days to Greater Self-Love. And it has a checklist, it has worksheets. The ebook is dope. It breaks down each section of the things that we need to do every single day for the next 30 days to really love on ourselves and put ourselves first. I love what my therapist says. She says, you are the source and you have to take care of yourself before you can take care of others. So we are really doing that for the month of February.
That's really cool. So yeah, we wanted to say thank you, of course, to Major for being our special guest today.
Yes, and please forgive us for any sounds that you hear in the background. That is just him breathing heavy on my chest because he's asleep.
But thank you for tuning in to the Fresh Life Podcast, and we'll see you soon.